Hi, everyone. I am Sarah McCutcheon with McCutcheon Advisory Services. Kind of wanted to come on here to talk about an important thing that came up today when I was reading an article. To give you a little bit of background, McCutcheon Advisory Services, we provide bookkeeping, accounting, part-time controller, CFO services, tax preparation, and then daily money management services as well. So really wanted, with it being tax season, to bring up an important issue that arose when I was reading an article regarding artificial intelligence and how people are using that to steal others' identities and tax refunds. And you can sit there and say, well, maybe I don't get a refund, I pay every year. It doesn't really affect me. It can, depending on what information they take and what they decide to do and report to the IRS. It could really destroy any good, peaceful life that you may have. And what typically happens is it takes a very long time to get everything straightened out and where everything works smoothly. So I did want to kind of come on here and mention a few ways that you can protect yourself. And you can also mention it to family members, loved ones, friends. Everyone can use this information, and it's something that the IRS has been doing for a very long time. They're starting to make changes to it to where it's a little bit more secure and a little more updated with the times. And I'm going to get into that in just a moment. I will say we will be starting accounting and tax tips and information. We only ask that you use this information for educational purposes. This is not tax advice. This is not accounting advice. We do ask that you do reach out to professionals. If in your area, you can reach out to us. We'll be happy to help as well. But without looking at your certain situation, anything that we do say is not tax advice. Just wanted to make that disclaimer. So, a little bit about the article, as I stated, people are using the artificial intelligence. Two ways that you can protect yourself is one, setting up on the IRS website your own login to their account. And basically, you'll be able to pull transcripts, you'll be able to look and see any letters that they have sent to you. You can make payments on the account. You can look at prior tax returns, make sure everything is up to date and filed. It's really good information to access if you have questions on what's going on with your IRS account. In case, let's say, you get a refund and they take your refund, you can always go to that account and kind of see what's going on, which is very beneficial if you haven't received any letters from the IRS. And what you do is you go to www.irs.gov/payments /your dash online dash account. They use a system called ID.me for you to log in, that uses facial recognition software. You'll have to have your driver's license as well, all your personal information in order to create an account. And you would rather be the one to create the account than someone who's using artificial intelligence to do so and take your information. The other way that you can protect yourself is called an IP PIN. It's a 6-digit code that you get from the IRS. Again, you can go to their website, and this is a very long one. It is www.irs.gov/identity theft fraud scams. Make sure to put the S on the end, / get and identity protection pin. Very long. You can also just put in Google IRS IP pin and it will take you to the website. Just make sure you're on the IRS website. You don't want to go onto someone else's account. You can't file it through anyone else other than the IRS to get that pin. And what it is you will get a new number every single year that has to be on your tax return to make sure the IRS knows that it is you who is filing that form. So it prevents somebody to go using your social and all your personal information and going and file a tax return to get your refund, but without that number, it'll get rejected. So really important to look into. The IRS is really pushing hard for a lot of people to get the IPINs now due to the AI crimes that are going on. There's a lot of identity stolen every single year. So, very important to look into if you are worried. One, you're worried it's going to happen, or two, you just want to be proactive and keep your information safe. The online application is available from mid January through mid November. Usually, mid November, December, and the beginning of January, the IRS is shut down, where they're updating their systems and taking vacation. And well, I say they're taking vacation, but they stop processing returns during that time frame. They stop doing a lot of things online, to get ready for the tax season. So it's important to keep that in mind. If you do want to get an IP pin, is doing it through those time frames. If you wait until December, it won't be available. There are other ways that you can get it as well. But if you go to the IRS website, you can fill out an online application. It will use that ID.me software to log into. If you haven't already created your IRS account, you can do that then, and then you can fill out the application. Because, like I said, it's just going to identify who you are. The next step would be if you decide that you don't want to fill out an online application, or if you file less than $79,000 annually for your adjusted gross income as an individual filer, or if you're married filing jointly and it's under 158,000, you will either have to do a paper application, which you have to have access to a telephone because they're going to give you a call to, again, verify you are who you say you are. Or you can also set up an appointment at one of the taxpayer assistance centers local to your area and take the application and go in person. Again, it's just verifying who you are. And it does take less time if you go into one of the centers than if you fill out the paper online form or paper application. And of course, the online application is the fastest way to get an IP pin. So, wanted to kind of give you those tips just to help you stay safe during this season. Um, Artificial intelligence is only going to get worse as it gets more advanced. So, just to make sure that you know your information is safe.